Back again with another one of our fancy little tier lists. Just like the last time, we're not going to move the cards individually. They are already pre-categorized, and today we're going to cover what are some good traps to play if you're looking for that type of strategy. You can go check out our tier list for the upcoming format or our hand trap list to get a little more insight into how you can see some success playing. Come join Dragon Rider Games for the best online tournaments. We have 4-man tournaments, we have 8-man, 16, sometimes 32, entries from $5 to $25. Like, there's something for everyone. EDO Pro, Nexus, Master Duel, and of course our most popular dueling book for the best online testing. Like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And without further ado, let's jump into it. If you're going to play some traps, what are good ones to go for? Counter traps. Solemn Strike's pretty obvious. Like, this in any trap deck, you're probably going to see 3 Solemn Strike, a card that is pretty slept on, and shout out to Ali Khatib for pointing me towards it. He also got 3rd place in MBT's last tournament with Trap Cyber Dragon. I just won a small Dragon Rider one, emphasis on small, with Trap Cyber Dragon. The deck is really good in this upcoming format, and the Huge Revolution is a very good counter trap card because DPE is pretty popular and Lightning Storm is good. And unlike Solemn Judgment, this card negates and banishes. So when a spell, trap, or monster effect would activate that would destroy 2 or more cards on the field, negate the activation and banish it. That's good. It stops DPE, it banishes it, it removes it from the field, it kills that whole engine. That's really good. It doesn't cost 4,000 life points. Obviously, Solemn Judgment's on here too because it does have applications outside of that where you can stop pretty much any spell or trap, or you can stop summons altogether. So Solemn Judgment does still have a place on the list, but if you're looking to stop Lightning Storm and DPE, like a good side card for those type of decks in your trap strategy, the Huge Revolution is a better card than Solemn Judgment this format. Floodgates, obviously, Skill Drain's probably the best one of the format. It's up to 3. I don't know what Konami was doing with that. They got rid of 1 and gave us 2 copies of another one back. There can be only 1. Also, another very strong Floodgate. If you're playing Cyber Traps, guys, play this card. I know it doesn't seem like, why would you play this in Cyber Dragon, especially because Cyber Trap still goes second. But this card can help break a board, and Cyber Dragon can play under it pretty well if you know what you're doing. We'll work on a video for that if you guys would like. Let me know down below on how to play under There Can Be Only One, as in you didn't make your infinity, you didn't set up your board, you had to set it, stop your opponent's turn. How can you actually play under this card? Goes a Match, Rivalry, Anti-Spell, Summon Limit. These are all other cards that are pretty good. I think Goes and Match is clear-cut 3rd. Rivalry and Anti-Spell, you could go back and forth, 4th or 5th, either way. Summon Limit's my 6th favorite Floodgate for the format. And that brings us to some other just generic traps that are pretty good. D-Barrier, obviously this card's really strong, PK with their XCs, Sword Soul with the Synchros, Invoked with the Fusion. Eldritch, it's not that great, but you're probably not siding in trap cards against Eldritch, especially not D-Barrier. You can hit Virtual World with Synchro. It just hits so many decks. Prank Kids with Fusions, yada, 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 so on and so forth. Torrential Tribute, obviously blowing up a board is pretty good, so Torrential Tribute, good. Artifact Sanctum gets you to Scythe, gets you to Lancia, gets you to these cards, so it's another strong trap. Ice Dragon's Prison, this card, very, very good this format. Dogmatic Punishment, you can pop 2, you can pop 1 and set up your play, whether you send App Cologne, Titanic Lad, an Omega to shuffle back a DPE. Like, there's a lot of really good targets for punishment. Different Dimension Ground, banishing everything if they try to combo through it. Some people start to do it and then they realize how hard it's actually going to hit them and it just ends their turn or possibly even the game. And sometimes you want to see some of these because actually all of those are normal traps. So you can play Trap Trick. Like, what if you have 5 spots in your extra or in your side deck and you're like, oh, I wish I could play 3 Ice Dragon's Prison and 3D Barrier in my side, but I only have 5 spaces. You can play 1 Trap Trick and it acts as a pseudo 3rd copy of each of them, because if you open either one, Trap Trick just becomes a 3rd copy of the other. So Trap Trick in there. I do like it just as a one-of for that reason. I really don't like playing more than one trap trick. Sometimes it'll put you in a weird position and also burn through your deck too quickly, which is kind of a weird thing to say, but it's just my personal thoughts on trap trick. I like it as a one of. These are some traps and how I feel about them for the format. Thank you guys for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Staples coming next, and we also are going to cover the best 5 splashable engines in Yu-Gi-Oh!